Hello, everybody. It's your girl Vita here with Angels of Grace, and here we are with the program director of Savannah City Mission,
Jermaine Ray.
Jermaine Ray.
Hey everybody, it's your girl Pinka, and we are here. We're here. So, Mr. Jermaine, tell us about yourself.
So I'm the program director here at Old Savannah City Mission. I've been here in Savannah for 7 years. Interesting story. My first 2 years here in Savannah, I was actually in the program here at Old Savannah City Mission as a student. Um, I did 2 years of the program under Jimmy Dawson, who was my mentor at the time.
I remember Jimmy Dawson, the one that's located at the
Bargain Center.
He's awesome.
Yes, ma'am. So he was my mentor when I was here for my first 2 years of the program. And then I completed the program and I got a job here as an administrative assistant.
Okay.
And I did that for about 6 months before our other director took ill and passed. So I got put in charge of the building, and I've been running the building ever since.
How long would you say you've been running the building?
This will be my 5th year running the building.
Wow. So what would you say that being in your position, what is Savannah Old Mission stand for? What is it that you guys offer that no one probably even took the time to figure out?
Right. So we're offering more than just a shelter. When people think of mission, they think of shelter as far as we just feed people and house them. But we do more for the community here. We do a lot of outreach as far as mental health is a big issue in Savannah that we see here. So we reached out to Georgia Regional. So we had Georgia Regional coming once a month to give free mental checkups to individuals. We also set up where we have free health care on Mondays for homeless men and women in the area. They could come up here on Mondays from 2 o'clock to 5 o'clock and get free medical care through JC Lewis. We also feed families in need. We make up food boxes for families that are in need and pass them out to members of the community. So we do a lot more than just clothe and house the homeless.
Wow, that is so nice. What you got to say about that, Gabby?
Okay. So my question is, how does God plays a big role in you helping the community?
Good one.
Even during your career as a program director here at Old Savannah City Mission.
Right. In my life, it's played a large role. As I gave my testimonies before, I told people, like, when we used to go to church, my mom raised 4 boys. And it was a struggle for her trying to get us all ready for church. So at a certain point in our lives, she didn't force us to go to church. So I didn't really have any religion in my life after about 10 years old. When I came here and got in the program, the one reason why I got in it was God-based. And I wanted to try something different in my life. I've been doing it Jermaine's way all this time. And it was time for me to turn it over to the Lord.
Say it again, you was doing it what way?
I was doing it Jermaine's way, my way. It was the only way I knew. And I was like, just put it in the Lord's hands, you know, and that's what really got me through the program is, just staying in the Bible and staying focused on what I'm supposed to do as far as being a productive member of society. It really stuck with me as far as I believe that the Lord is the only one that can change your whole perspective of thinking.
Amen.
I tell my students all the time in the program, you can change your address, you can change your clothes, but if you don't change your mind, you're going to be in the same rut you were before you came in the program. So that's really what played a big part of my life was giving it over to the Lord and letting Him worry about my problems instead of Jermaine having to worry about the problems.
Wow. So what is some advice can you give men of all ethnicity in regarding just your experience in life?
once again, I grew up in a family. Like I said, my stepdad was a Marine, and my mom was the disciplinary of the family. Um, and it was hard for us to say growing up, "I love you" to one another. And that was my biggest thing. Even though I was in the program for like the first year, I would have people telling me I love them. I'd be like, "Yeah,
Right.
same here." It was just hard for me to say.
Yeah.
But like I said, once I got into the word and everything, um, it humbled me, one, and it made me see that saying I love you to somebody else, isn't a sign of weakness or anything. What we see a lot is a lot of gentlemen that comes to us in the program, they don't want to humble themselves and they don't want to ask for help. As men, we have a hard time asking for help, and I tell them, when you come to this program, that's what we're here for, is to help you. And you don't feel ashamed for asking for help. We all need it at one point in our lives. So that was my biggest thing, was um, saying I love you and asking somebody for help.
So you say the program. What's the name of the program?
So our program here is Urban Training Institute. It's a 13-month program for men that's having struggles in their life due to drugs, alcohol, or just falling on hard times. We set up a 13-month program where 2 hours in the morning they have Bible study with two separate teachers. We have pastors, preachers, and teachers that come and they give them Bible study in the morning. And then after that, they are assigned a job around the building, whether they're working in the kitchen, helping to feed the homeless men and women that comes in. We feed breakfast, lunch, and dinner 7 days a week, all year long. They also may work at one of our bargain centers, where they go out and pick up furniture for our bargain centers. Us being a nonprofit organization, we don't receive any government funding. We have our two bargain centers that we go out, pick up furniture, and we bring it back to our bargain centers, and we sell it at a discounted rate. That helps members in the community because some of this furniture is real nice,
Right.
and they get it at a discounted price. So it helps people in the community be able to come and get nice furniture, and then also the money that we get from the stores we put back into the mission.
Wow, bless y'all heart.
Yes,
That is a lot. I knew it was something treacherous about it. Okay. So what advice would you give the ladies?
The ladies, it's always hard. Right now, and I'm glad you brought that up. Right now, we've been, for like the last year, we've been dealing with the city. We have a house we own right across the street that we're trying to get torn down to put a women and children shelter in place. What we learned about Savannah is they have shelters for men and there's shelters for men and women, but there's no shelter for just women and children, unless it's the abuse shelter.
The safe
shelter. And there is struggling women out there right now. We see them every day here that has kids sleeping in the car with them, or they have their kids in an abandoned house with them. You don't see a lot of women on the streets panhandling because, like I said, a lot of them have kids, and they don't want anybody knowing where they take their kids at night, to keep them safe.
Yeah.
So we're in the process now to try to get a 2-story building built that'll be able to house single women and women with children.
I love the vision.
Yes,
oh my
Oh,
God.
that's a beautiful vision.
It is. So we've been once we're able to get this house torn down, we're able to start work on that. And that's it's probably close to $4 or $5 million project that we have in mind. It takes roughly right now, this building itself and the bargain centers, it takes us roughly $2 million a year to run the facility, to be able to house all the friends and neighbors, to be able to feed all the friends and neighbors in the area. I keep saying friends and neighbors.
They feel like family.
We don't. That's what we do here. We don't call them homeless men and women. We call them friends and neighbors. I always tell individuals, these men and women are longtime residents, or they were born and raised here in Savannah. We are the ones that are visitors. So we want to make it like they are our friends and neighbors, because I've been dealing with the same guys. I've been here 7 years, and I've been dealing with the same women and men for 7 years. So they are like our family here.
Wow. Wow. My God. Wow. You got anything to say to that?
Uh, well, I have to say, Jermaine, those are the most powerful, the most powerful words that he has ever said to the both of us.
Yes, ma'am.
Oh, wow. I had no idea that this was going on. This is why we're trying to get involved, be able to speak to people, because we see things we see on TV, but
Mhm.
it's different when you get involved and really just
Right,
see what's
it
going
is.
on.
It is. And that was my thing. My thing was to join the program and to just get my life back together so that I could go home and pick up where I left off. But I guess the Lord was like, your place is right here in Savannah. And like I said, you got to love what you're doing. It gets hard sometimes. I'm usually here 6, 7 days a week. I'm here in the building, making sure that everything's going smooth, making sure that the friends and neighbors in the area are well taken care of. Our street is changing, you know, as you can see, we got, you know, new developers coming in and everything. And they really don't want to see a homeless shelter on this part of town. But like I said, we're self-sustained. It's not government funded. We own the building, so they're not going to chase us away like that. And these guys and women in the area, they need a shelter in the area, specifically set up where they're able to come and get the resources that they need.
I'm so glad they have people like you and everyone that we just met this morning. For the camera, can you state the founder that we met before we got on camera?
Yeah, so the founder is Pastor Larry McDaniel. He came here years and years ago with a vision to start a church. He also started the Sanctuary Church, which is a pretty big church in Savannah. He started the church and he wanted to start, you know, a mission also. So he talked to some people and they first started off in a crack worn house that we got donated to us. It was in a bad part of Savannah. Um, the street was either drug ridden or boarded up. And he started doing Bible studies over at that house.
Wow.
And nobody would show up for the Bible studies. So
because of the condition?
Well, just because of the area and everything, nobody wanted to show up. And he met a gentleman that he talked to, and he was like, you know how you get people to show up? You feed them. So what they started doing was going around to supermarkets and picking up dented cans and picking up produce that was still good, that was about to go out of date. And he started making up food boxes. And to be able to get a food box, you had to sit through a service. Once the service is over, they got a food box. Well, that picked up, and before he knew it, it was too many people to house inside that building, inside the house for a Bible study. So he talked to another business person in the area, and that's how we obtained this building here.
My God.
Now I just want to know, what's your secret to using this company to keep Pastor McDaniel's legacy alive?
Good question.
What's the
secret? Keeping this whole establishment.
To keep it going, the secret is he put people in place that he knows that's really going to care about their friends and neighbors. That's the biggest thing that I said for being in the program to coming over to actually working and running the building. Is the biggest thing I see to keep it running is you got to have the right personnel in place.
Yeah.
You got to have people with a godly heart that can understand where the friends and neighbors are coming from.
Yeah.
Like I tell these people in the building, everybody else in here is pastors and preachers, but me. I got to be sort of the discipline of the building. It's got to be some kind of rules that you have to keep in place to be able to maintain a clean and safe environment for the friends and neighbors to come into. So you got to have people that has a big heart that's able to be able to reach out and help people. So that I think that's the biggest thing that you need when you're running a nonprofit organization, is that the people with godly hearts.
Compassion.
Compassion is a big.
Yeah.
These friends and neighbors know that I could be stern with them. Like I could put them out the building one day for an infraction, but the next day they welcome them again with open arms. Like I tell them, I hold no animosity towards you. If you act up, I have to discipline you, and they respect that.
Yeah.
And for the most part, our friends and neighbors that visit us, they understand how I run the building, and they respect it. Um, they get so many amenities here. They get to come in during the day and watch TV, Apple TV, Netflix, Amazon Prime. We have it all for them.
Yeah.
They have coffee, drinks, and snacks throughout the day. We throw Super Bowl party for them. We make them feel like an important part of Savannah, which they are an important part of Savannah. They're just lost right now, trying to find their way back in life. So we want to make sure that they are treated with the respect when they come here to Old Savannah City Mission.
Oh my God, that's so much compassion there. Don't make me cry on camera.
And also businesses in the area. I want to leave out businesses in the area. We have large businesses in the area. We have the Trade Center. Whenever they have large events, we get all our food from them. So our friends and neighbors aren't eating soup and sandwiches like you see on TV. They're having prime rib. They're having steaks. They're having food,
good.
Normal food that we would eat. We want the friends and neighbors to be able to have an opportunity to eat those kind of things. Riverboat's another big supporter of us.
Oh, we went downtown.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, okay.
They give us all of their food after events. So our guys eat good here. And we try to do things with them. We set up once a month, the police department comes in and has questions and answers.
Yeah.
And that helps out with the friends and neighbors seeing that all police officers aren't bad. There's actually police officers out there that cares for them. So they take time out of their day to come here once a month to answer any questions, or if the friends and neighbors have any concerns or any problems, they can, talk it out with the police department. Mm-hmm. So that's a big part of, us keeping this facility running smoothly, is to have a good relationship with the other people on the street, the other businesses on the street, and with the police department, to have that where they're not arresting people all the time. Mm-hmm. And that's the biggest thing. We don't want them out there arresting all the time. We know it's necessary sometimes, but we want them to know that instead of that person might be sleeping at the park, that they know that they can bring that person down here to be able to have a place to stay instead of sending them off to jail. So our police department works great with us. We haven't had any major problems in the area. And they respect the friends and neighbors that come here. They're starting to respect the police more when they see them here, committed to helping them out with their problems.
Amen. Wow. Because we also affiliate with Building Bridges, and her mom is actually Miss Kanya Nunnally.
Okay.
And she's over Building Bridges or whatnot.
Okay.
Just hit the sidebar.
Oh, I'm sorry.
You're fine.
I turned it off.
Yes, ma'am. You're fine. She's actually over Building Bridges. Mm-hmm. She does a lot. I'll leave a flyer with you. Because everything that you listed that you're doing here, she do that on Waters as well.
Okay.
And it's like a, big, beautiful thing to collab.
And yeah, she's been running the company for over 6 years now.
Oh, okay. That's great.
Wow. This is a blessing. So any last words you want to leave with us?
No, I just I always say we're open to volunteers. You don't have to come down here, put in an application, go through a process of, if you want to donate your time, we usually have volunteers, and what they usually do down here is we have them going in the kitchen, helping prep the meals, or actually serving the meals to our friends and neighbors. We have a lot of church groups and a lot of kids groups coming up this summer. All summer long, we have kids from all over the country that comes here and volunteers for a week at a time. So anybody wants to come and volunteer, they're more than welcome to just come on down to the building, or if they want to come and take a tour. What we do here, and if you see our building, if you walk around, you'll know that it's clean.
That's the first thing I noticed. It was definitely clean when I walked
We
in.
keep a clean building. We keep a clean building just because I don't want somebody calling and setting up a time to tour the building. I want them just to show up unannounced so they can see that the building's
it's
always
kept.
like this. It's not just because, hey, somebody's coming at 2 o'clock, let's get cleaning. Our building stays clean 24/7 because we want it to be welcoming to individuals that come in and volunteer.
Amen. Oh my gosh. I'm so overwhelmed with joy because I like hearing this. Because I work with the safe shelter for women and abused kids. And oh my gosh, I love what I was doing there. But God said, time is up, you know. And what you're doing here is definitely a wonderful thing. And I know you're not doing it so long, but I personally want to say thank you so much for what you do in Savannah.
Yes, ma'am.
Any last words, Savita?
Okay, so how is everyone in this company treating you so far, even as it has gone?
Ooh.
How's everybody treating me? No, I have a good staff right now. It's just been great. Like I said, coming from, after high school, I went to the Army. I got an Army, and I instantly went to work moving furniture. And I loved it so much that I traveled cross country moving furniture for 20 years. So this was like a whole new world for me as far as being in the office side of work. I was always outside working with my hands. So I've had a lot of support from previous employees that worked here that could give me, some tidbits of knowledge. And like I said, Jimmy Dawson, my mentor, was a large part of that because he told me even when I was in the program to learn everything I could because you make yourself indispensable when you do that. So the staff's been great. Like I said, they treated me great, even though I'm in charge. So I don't want them to make it seem like just because I'm in charge, they're treating me great. But I haven't seen them. No, the staff here, like I said, we all get along like family here. It's just a great environment, and for the most part, a lot of our staff goes to the same church, the Sanctuary Church. So we've been knowing each other for years anyway.
Wow. So I guess my last question would be, I remember you speaking about mental health and counseling. Can you touch on that again?
Well, so what we noticed here is a lot of the individuals, especially young, and when I say young, I'm like 18 to 25. 18 to 25-year-olds in this program usually don't make it because they're still in I know everything hard-headed stage of their life. But we've been seeing a lot of them go out there and get hooked on these drugs nowadays, and it messes with their minds mentally. And we see a lot of individuals here in Savannah that necessarily don't need jail. They need mental health. They need somewhere to get mental health treatment. And that's a big part of what we're seeing now is a lot of these individuals we see do need a lot of mental health and not jail. Like I said, they need the help. So with Georgia Regional helping us out, we've been able to get those individuals the help that they need, but it's still more that we could do for individuals in Savannah as far as mental health.
That is very, very important. Speaking from experience, what would you say about mental health or how you would decompress?
I had a hard time, and that was my biggest thing was controlling my anger. When the friends and neighbors might cuss at you in the mall, your first instinct is to cuss back. But knowing if I wasn't in the program, I think, and didn't get the religion embodied in me, I would be out there snapping all the time. But
God.
Right, and that's what I always say. Amen. That's my biggest thing around here. Instead of throwing out some words, I just amen and I walk away. And I think you just have to walk away from certain situations, and that's the hardest thing to do. If somebody is yelling at you or berating you, or you feel like you're being disrespected, is to be the bigger person and just walk away. And I tell all these friends and neighbors all the time, it's not that serious enough for you to spend time in jail over that man calling you out your name. It's only a name. He's not putting hands on you, so just let it go. So it's a balance. You got to just learn how to just control your emotions. One, that's a big thing. You got to control your emotions and just walk away from a situation that's not major. If it's something petty, I'd say just walk away. Don't worry about it. You know you're not that person who called you.
Yeah.
So just walk away from the situation. It's easier than stand there arguing, at least so when y'all putting hands on somebody and then you're spending time in jail and then you're sitting in jail like, I should have listened to what he said and just walked away. So just walk away from the situation. That's what I would say.
Amen.
Mm-hmm.
Oh my gosh. You had any other question for him?
No, I guess that's it.
Amen.
Thank you so much for your
Oh,
time.
you're welcome. You're all
We
welcome.
appreciate
Anytime.
it.
Anytime.
And it's your girl Pinka,
And it's your girl Vita.
and we're with Angels of Grace. Thank you again.
You're welcome. Y'all take care. I thought I turned this phone off. Oh,
You're good.
Lord.
Stuff happens.
I know. I had to go out there and get